Welcome to this week's 5 Minutes of Revelation, and today in those 5 minutes I want to encourage you and show you how you can live a stable and a good life. A life that is not constantly up and down, good one day and bad the next, just a big mess. No, a life that's stable and that's simply good for you to enjoy. And the verse God gave me to show this to you is James 5 verse 12. Because here God tells you, "But let your yes be yes, and your no be no, so that you may not fall under condemnation." So what God is telling you here, that if you say yes to something, then stick to it. And if you say no to something, stick to it. The decision you make, you need to stick to it. In the verse before, God says that we don't have to swear to anything. We don't have to say, well, I swear by my mother or by my life that I will do this. No. Simply, when you say you're going to do something, do it. And when you say you're not going to do something, don't do it. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. So what God is telling you here, that when you make a decision, you need to stick to it. And that's also the key I want to show you today to living a stable and a good life. See, because to lead a good life, you cannot allow yourself to be led by your feelings. That's what I want you to get today. When you want to lead a stable and a good life, you cannot allow yourself to be led by your feelings. Because see, your feelings are constantly up and down. One day you feel good, the next day you feel bad again. One day you feel like you're so in love with someone, the next day you feel like smacking them. Your feelings are constantly changing. And as long as you're led by your feelings, your life will be up one day, down the next day. It will be a big mess because that's what your feelings are. And that's why you shouldn't allow yourself to be led by your feelings. And the sad thing is that most people still live in that state where they're feeling led. Feelings constantly come and go, and you should not be led by them. And that's why you need to learn to make solid and good decisions so that your life can also be solid, consistent, and good. You need to learn to make solid and good decisions and stick to them. And the way to do it is to not just shout out anything or to not make a quick decision if it's something that is influencing your whole life or in any other area. When you're faced with a decision, it is not smart to just shout something out in the next 10 seconds and say, well, this is what I'm choosing now and that's the way I will go. No, the smart thing to do is when you have to make a decision, for you to become quiet and to bring this thing before God. Come to God and tell him, wait, this is the decision I have to make. Show me the right way to go. I receive your direction. And when you pray like that, he will show you and he will put it on your heart. He will show to you what the right decision is, what the right way to go is. And when you know that, you can make a good decision and you know that it's the right decision because God enforced it, God showed you the way to go, and then that's a good decision and that's a stable decision. Now what's left after you've made this decision is for you to stick to it. You then need to stick to this decision that you have just made. Whatever your feelings say, whatever your circumstances say, you need to stick to this decision, and then you will start living this good life. Then you will start living this consistent life because now your yes is a yes and your no is a no. See, either you adapt to your feelings or your feelings adapt to you. It is your choice. And by that I mean either you live by the way you feel, you make your decisions according to the way you feel, and then your life will look like your feelings, constantly up and down, a big mess, one day good, one day bad, or you make a choice and your feelings have to adapt to that decision. That means you make a decision and you stick to it no matter what your feelings say. And then your feelings will have to adapt to it. And then you will be finally able to live a constantly good life, a constantly happy life, to constantly have joy. Because your feelings are not free to do whatever they want. No, they have to adapt to the decisions, to the choices that you've made. And then you will experience the blessing that God has for you, which is this joy, which is this peace, and all these good feelings. That's how they will be consistently in your life. And if they're not there one day, it doesn't matter because you're still sticking to your decision, and then they have no choice but to come back into your life. So it's simply your choice. Whether it's your relationships, whether it's your work, whatever area of life, you choose. And I want to encourage you today to not base those choices on your feelings, to come before God, ask Him for the right way, and then make good and solid decisions, because that's how your life will be consistent, will be solid, secure, and good continually, because now your yes is a yes and your no is a no. And that's why God put me here to encourage you today. So take this with you, and take this with you into the rest of your life, into every decision you make. Also, don't forget to read your chapter a day, and I'll see you again next week.